Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, do not leave your classroom without asking permission. Boss told me to deep clean the back and to not come to front for any reason, so I did. Update. Boss told me to deep clean the back and to not come to front for any reason, so I did. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Do not leave your classroom without asking permission. This happened yesterday. I teach at a public school. Occasionally, in the hallway I teach in, there is an overwhelming sewage smell. Normally it's an inconvenience, but not so drastic, we have to move rooms. Yesterday, it was the worst I've ever experienced since I started teaching at this school. Teachers immediately tried to move their classrooms, get out of the hallway, etc., etc. One class moved into the principal's conference room, and from the gist of it, our principal was livid that her space was invaded. We received an email stating that we are not to move our classes without notifying our supervisor. Now that seems logical. However, the email went on to say that we are not allowed to leave our room to stroll, visit another classroom, etc., etc., without speaking to our supervisor or the front office. I was absolutely fired up when I read this email. I wanted to make her regret sending it as quickly as possible. I notified everyone in my hallway that they should be calling the office every time they needed to use the bathroom. I encouraged as many teachers as possible to constantly be calling to notify of their movement around campus. Within 2 hours, I had called the front office 4 times, once even just to let them know I was walking down to the front office. Most the teachers in my building called a couple times. Once, when the main receptionist was on lunch and another support staff was covering for her, I called to let them know I was going to the bathroom, and the woman on the other end sounded so confused. "Do you need something?" she awkwardly asked. I explained it was that per the email it was expected for us to notify the office of our bathroom breaks. She chuckled and told me to have a good time. Within 3 hours we received another staff-wide email explaining some clarification, and that we should not call the office if we need to go to the bathroom, have a stroll on campus, or visit another teacher's classroom. I walked down to the office later that day with the biggest grin on my face, and every support staff knew exactly why I was so happy. We all had a good laugh. One of the support staff said to me that the principal said I didn't mean it literally. If you were going to put something in writing to a group of professional educators, and be aggressive and rude about it, you better know exactly what you were saying. Boss told me to deep clean the back and to not come to front for any reason, so I did. I'm a 20-year-old male that works at a very popular restaurant in a very snobby area. My main job is to assist the servers in any way I can, so they only have to worry about sweet-talking the customers. I do all the heavy lifting for them, whether it's cleaning their tables or taking their drinks and food to their tables. I'm doing it, and all they have to focus on is making the customers laugh. They get tips that range from $17 to $40 per table, while I make $8 an hour and get treated poorly. Enough backstory. Cue the malicious compliance. My manager came up to me in "I'm better than you" mood and told me to deep clean the floors, ice makers, walls, trash cans, and racks, and to not come to the front for any reason. I'm very annoyed at this because none of those things are my job duties. We have a staff that deals with all the cleaning of the back, so it didn't make any sense to have me do it. These tasks would have taken me an hour and a half max, but I was feeling a bit cheeky and decided to really deep clean the back until it was spotless. About 30 minutes later, the same manager comes up to me and tells me that there are 4 tables that need cleaning and 2 other tables just got sat and I need to bring their drinks to them. I looked at this man with a stare of a 20-year-old that has no bills to pay, and I say, "No, I'm not done cleaning." He looked shocked and responded angrily, "You can finish later, they need help." And I countered with, "No, it's filthy here. We don't want a health inspector to just walk into this filth, do we?" He storms off like a toddler that didn't get their candy. 2 hours go by and I'm on my hands and knees scrubbing as if I was working for Chef Gordon Ramsay himself. the same manager comes back again with a smirk and says, "Wow, this looks like it's going to take you all day long. Maybe you should come to the front and help the servers since there's a huge Sunday rush." I replied with, "You might just be right," and I go back to cleaning. He storms off again. Fast forward to 2 minutes before my shift ends. My knees, legs, and fingers are all aching from cleaning. I shuffle my way to the front where my manager has been waiting for me, and he says, "You finally decided to come help, huh?" And I look at him without saying anything and clocked out, and then I tell him, "Sorry, I'm not clocked in." I walked out to my car while he was blowing my phone up. I didn't care. I had 5 days off back to back, and he can't fire me since I did as he told me to. The moral of the story is, don't think you are better than someone that has nothing to lose. Edit. For all the people that have been commenting that he can fire you, yeah, you are right, he could, but he won't do that because I'm the only one that is working the position, and no one has applied to come work at the place for $8 per hour. There are more details to the story than what I told, so instead of trying to be smart, just ask, why do you say that, instead of assuming I'm just some entitled kid who thinks they run the world. Thank you for reading. Second edit. Good morning everyone. Sorry, I can't read most of y'all's posts, but I'd like to say thank you and answer a couple questions on here. I don't have any living, food, or insurance bills. The only things I have to pay for are my flight school and saving up for a car, which I don't consider bills since I'm not being hunted down for those. I am also having a job interview tomorrow at a place that pays $17/HR, and I'll be working 1/3 of what I am at my current restaurant job. Lastly, I do get tip shares from the servers, but it goes straight to my paycheck, so that means that the servers can report less of what they made and give me less. So instead of making $8 per hour, I'm making $9 per hour. I did the math through my paycheck. Thank you for reading. Smiley face. P.S. Update will be Friday. Update. Boss told me to deep clean the back and to not come to front for any reason, so I did. Starting off, sorry for not updating on Friday, 10th, like I said I would. Life got in the way, plus several events have happened. This will be a decent size update. Friday rolled around after I was coming back from the small vacation I had. The location had no service. I greeted some of the servers I'm cool with and they all gave me an oh crap look, since apparently my boss had been trying to call me to come open and close on Wednesday and Thursday. Obviously, I didn't know this since I had no service where I had been at the time. I make my way to the boss expecting to get a freak out from him, which surprisingly he didn't have. He welcomed me back and asked a couple common questions about my trip. After 5 minutes of talking, he springs on me, "Since you didn't come in on Wednesday and Thursday, you need to come in Monday and Tuesday of next week," to which I replied, "Did you schedule me for those days?" And he immediately replies with, "No, but I know you have nothing to do since you're just a teen." At this point my face just looked like I had seen a bear riding a bicycle while juggling bowling pins. I was absolutely amazed at how those words came out of his mouth with such ease, like he really believed he had any sort of power over me. I paused for a moment and said, "No, I don't think I will be doing that since I'm not currently scheduled on those days. I will not show up on those days." He then tried to argue that he had to come in on his days off to cover my shifts. I learned from the servers that he never showed up. The last thing I said to him before I started working was, "This isn't my problem, hire more people," and walked off. Saturdays, 11th. Today was looking like it was going to be pretty mundane. Busy floor, a lot of food needing to be run, tables that need to be put back together. Pretty usual tasks of the job until my boss showed up and started barking orders, even though the restaurant was very packed and we needed all hands on deck. But obviously, that's not what he wanted. He could care less if the restaurant went to the toilet. All he cared about was being in control. The boss tells me and a server to go clean the storage closet, and if we don't, we can just be cut. We both reluctantly go and do it since he had 4 tables to attend to, and I wanted to help him so he wouldn't get bad tips just because a manchild wants to give tasks that can be done later and lay it out on the table for us to see. Super Bowl Sunday, 12th, was supposed to be a really slow day since we don't have any TVs on the walls and we don't serve bar food. But as soon as church got out, we were super slammed to the point you couldn't see the front door. It stayed like that until 3 p.m. and I was just ready to leave. So I did. I clocked out on time as you would at any other job, and my boss saw that and said, "You are not being a team player right now. You are just going abandon ship just like that?" To which I reply, well, yeah, you only have me for the time scheduled, not for when it's convenient for you. I have no problem working over the time I'm scheduled for, but I just can't with his snarky remarks and annoying temper tantrums he has on the daily. I'm just very done with him, so why would I go above and beyond for him? Plus it was the Super Bowl, and of course, I had plans. I wanted to hang out with my friends and not work. Thursday, 16th. I received an email from the new place I'm going to be working at, and I got the job. The new job will be paying me $16 per hour, double of what I'd been making. I also start Monday. I had gone to work the same day and told my boss I will not be able to put my 2 weeks in. However, I will work through this Sunday, and that will be my last day working for you. I hope that is enough time for you, so you can find my replacement, and if this doesn't work for you, I can always make my last day be today. Since Texas doesn't require employees and employers to submit a 2-week resignation. He starts to freak out since Monday through Thursday of next week, the restaurant has a bunch of large reservations. He replies with, if you stay with us, I can give you a big raise for all your hard work. My eyebrows raise since there is no way that his raise will match my new employer's rate. Intrigued, I ask, how much were you thinking of giving me? Drumroll, clears throat. I can give you a 0.25 raise, which will make your paychecks a little bit heavier. I am dumbfounded, my brain packed up and jumped off my head. This was the best deal I could have gotten ever. Screw the new job, who can say no to an extra $20 to their paycheck? Kidding, uneasy face. I politely declined and told him I had already made up my mind, and for the rest of my shift, he was in the office scrambling around posting job listings and looking for applications. It's really crazy how someone goes from being a complete dictator to a servant when they lose their power. These last 2 days he's been nothing but cupcakes and sunshine because he knows I can leave whenever I like. Thank y'all for reading. I will try to post an update this Sunday on my last day working here if there is a big enough event. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.